Hello everybody, welcome to Dakman Productions and welcome to Conahey Rail. And this video is going to be a Conahey Rail Summer 2022 update. And before we even start the update, we'd like to thank you subscribers for being a subscriber of Dakman Productions and supporting the channel all these years. And I'm quickly approaching the 10,000 subscriber mark, and I have you, the fans, to thank for that, and for watching Dakman Productions. And so what I'm planning on doing for that, a little sneak peek behind the scenes here. Once I hit 10,000, or actually a little bit more than that, and I hold it for at least a couple weeks, I will be doing a live show, and I have a couple of YouTube friends that would like to come aboard and join me in hosting this, because I'm not going to be able to do that on my own. So hopefully the two YouTube channels I'm thinking of will join me in doing this, hosting a 10,000 subscriber live show and celebration, actually, and I'll be giving some things away. So I was up in the air what I wanted to do as far as how I was going to do it, what I was going to give away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do, I don't know if anybody's watched the large scale consolidated live show that me and Mr. Pictavid host, but what we do there for a contest giveaway is we put in a hashtag, and then you, the viewers, put in, like, let's say hashtag boxcar is the magic contest word. So you type in hashtag boxcar into the chat message, and then what happens, that gets entered into basically a drawing, a computerized drawing. And the computer goes through and randomly picks the winner. And I think that's the easiest way to do it. That way we're not doing bingo or this or that or answering trivia questions. So I'd rather do it that way. So the reason why I'm mentioning all this is because you do have to be a subscriber to get into the chat on Dakman Productions. And that's only because I want to keep out the spam bots and the inappropriate stuff that does pop up in the live feed. So now you have to be a subscriber to get into the live chat. So make sure you subscribe for this giveaway, this 10,000 subscribers celebration. So I'm going to just show you a couple things here that I'm going to give away. So here we have an Atlas O Corn Products tank car. I'll just briefly show you guys this. Atlas O, I think I was thinking about it, and I'm thinking, what would be the best thing for me to give away that says Conahey Rail? Well, let me introduce you to Atlas O. And let me tell you, this is an $80 value. So here you go. That is a Corn Products 17,000 gallon Atlas O Master Series tank car. And you're going to tell them you're going to enjoy the details. If you win this car, you're going to buy more Atlas O, I guarantee you. And this is a scale car. All Atlas O is scale, except for the industrial rail, which they haven't done in a long time. But anyway, so this is a scale car. I've decided on Corn Products because this is an actual tank car that you see running today. So this is pretty modern and can be, you know, at least the past 10 years. But I get these in town all the time because we do have a beverage factory here that gets the Corn Products tank cars delivered to them. But this is I'm excited about giving this away. So, yep, there you go. And that's going to be one of the giveaways. For those of you who have semi-scale, I got you covered. So here we have a Dakman Plasticville, USA suburban house. Blue house, cool. So there you go. We'll be giving this away. And this is just a couple of things I'll be giving away. I wanted to do a big giveaway this time because I have never done one. and only because in the past I really couldn't afford it to give away stuff every 100 subscribers or every 1,000 subscribers, but 10,000 is a big celebration mark for me. So you're going to want to join us for that. So now moving on to the Conahey Rail summer update, and I'll put out a video with more details about the giveaway later. So still got a little ways to reach 10,000 and to hold it. But getting back to the Conahey Rail Summer Update 2022, I want to show you guys what I did on the layout. I mean, it's not much, but it's something. I've been spending a lot more of my time this year just laying back and enjoying the trains, just running my trains, and what's nice about Conahey Rail, I can run my trains on a circle and just sit there and watch them. Or I can do end deliveries and make deliveries to certain destinations, in other words, operations. Or I can do switching. So I have those three options on Conahey Rail High Rail, which is what I always wanted. I wanted to have those three options. So I can be interactive, or if I'm feeling lazy, I'll just watch the train, enjoy it, and sit back and relax and just enjoy the layout. But let's see what I did, the couple things that I've done, and we'll show you guys around. Alright, so the first thing I want to show you guys is the blue foam tiles that I've actually put down around the layout. I'm sure you guys seen this on my community page on YouTube as well as Facebook. I really like these tiles. These are actually... Let me back up here so you guys can see. But these are foam tiles, garage foam tiles for the floor. Best move I ever made. Easy to clean. You just take a little whisk broom and dust it off basically, and it's easy to clean. Easy on the feet. I wish I'd have done this a long time ago, because concrete floors, after working on concrete floors all my life, is very hard. So now I got these foam tiles that I can actually work with, and these I got on Home Depot and website, and just had them delivered. Now I will say, if you're going to put chairs down and tables down, this is not going to be what you want. This is basically, these foam tiles are only meant for standing on. When you have something like a sharp point, such as tables or chairs, this is not what you're going to want to go with. So make sure you only use this in areas you're going to walk in, and not put a chair on and sit down on. If you want to do that, then you want to dress up your floor, you may want to think about carpet tiles or linoleum tiles. Or even going with like those board slats, those pergo floor is what I'm trying to say, I guess. So those are better options for putting furniture on than garage foam tiles. So with that being said, let's take a look at what I did to the layout. Alright, so we'll go ahead and walk over here. And we'll check out what we did. So as I mentioned, I wanted a time period correct 1955 station, or try to anyway, because I know the building's not going to be correct. But so what I did is I went ahead and set up that passenger station, which is MTH, and then I put in time period correct cars in the parking spot. The cars are all proper for 1955. They're either 55 or older. The bus is a GM fishbowl bus. Anybody knows anything about buses, that is not the proper time period bus. That's actually the GM fishbowl bus. Was made in starting in the 60s and was made well into the 80s. So that bus was manufactured for a very long time. Reminds me of the VW Beetle, the original one. I mean, that was manufactured forever too. But I did find the proper GM 4501 Greyhound bus, which will go in place of that. That was made by Corgi. The bus you're seeing here, the fishbowl bus, is also a Corgi 150 scale. The cars are 143 scale, and I try to stick with green light unless I see something that's really cheap. Because, you know, cars, it doesn't take long to get into, you know, a lot of money wrapped up in a car. So I try to stick to $15 to $20 per car for the budget. And even with that, I still got quite a bit of money wrapped up in the die-cast cars. It doesn't take long. So yeah, I stick with 150 scale buses and trucks, 143 scale cars, because I know those are questions I get all the time. What scale are your cars? What scale is the bus? Now, people have been hitting me up with questions. Where do I get all my vehicles from? Unfortunately, there's not a single source. In other words, I don't go to the hobby shop. I don't go to Walmart. I don't go here. I don't go there. I wait until I see them cheap on eBay. Usually there's people dumping them. What I mean by dumping them, selling them cheap. And without the boxes, which I don't care about the box. So you can pick up a die-cast car without a box for $5 to $10, depending on what it is. The person wraps it up, they ship it to you, you go and wrap it. Because you're only taking it out of the box and put it on your layout anyway, so what's the difference? You don't want the box. I tossed all my car boxes out the door. But yeah, so that's what I do. I wait for them to show up cheap on eBay. And it happens. It may not be often, but I wait it out. Another constant question I get is, how do I make my roads and parking lots? Well, I use a what's called black poster board, available from Walmart, and it's in the arts and crafts aisle. So you have poster board and you have black foam board, depending on if you want something a little bit thicker. But I do have some spots that does have the black foam board, but I try to stick with the poster board because it's actually easier to work with. And I just cut out the widths and sizes that I need from that poster board. And it's really cheap. Now, as far as the parking lot lines and the road lines, there is a seller on eBay called Red Lion. I'll make sure to put a link to that seller that I buy the decals for. So those are decals. I don't have that kind of talent to paint my inlines. So those are all vinyl decals, and they'll last forever, you know, at least inside. So all the lines you're seeing are all vinyl decals made by Red Lion. I actually met the guy in person at a train show. I believe it was in Allentown at the Frost Meet. He was there. So if he's going to be there next year, make sure you check him out, because that's the guy who sells all those lines, including, you know, like the bars and the stop ahead and stuff like that. So he does a nice job with the vinyl. So I had to move my hardware store that was actually right here to do this. And I'm going to rename that station. It's not going to be North Side anymore. I will rename that station Winslow Junction. Just like, you know, what the real Winslow Junction, you know, in New Jersey. So you may remember the hardware store was where the parking lot was at. And so the hardware store was moved down to here, in this area. And there it is. That's an MTH building. How Hardware, that is a sign that I made up for the building. How Hardware is an actual store in the next town over from me, a mom and pop hardware store. And yeah, they're still thriving even with Home Depot in town. Now, if you remember right, I had a UPS building where How Hardware sits now, so I did have to move that over yonder. We'll take a look at that, but that now sits next to the tunnel, so we'll take a better look at that here in a moment. So there is the UPS store. That is a Lionel piece. I guess I need to put a car there too. But yeah, Lionel did a nice job on it. I don't have too many Lionel buildings, but that is one of them I do have. Yeah, it's a little dusty. I gotta dust it off, but there it is. So that was moved over here to this corner. And then a parking lot tied to the street. So the viewers know that I like to teach people or talk about different things that people learn about. So I don't know if people, the younger generation, remember a show called Taxi. The show called Taxi was on air from 1978 to 1983. It was a sitcom and featured taxi cabs that looked just like this. This is how a lot of the taxi cabs looked back in the 70s. A lot of people may not know the make and model of this particular taxi or those taxis back in the day. So, with that being said, can you tell me the make and model of the taxis that were used in the 70s and on the show called Taxi? So, let me help you out with this. I'm going to teach you guys a little something here about cars for a change instead of trains. And yes, this is 143 scale. But at any rate, the make of the car is called Checker. And the model of the car is called Marathon. Much like maybe you have a Toyota Camry. So back then, this was a Checker and the model was Marathon. Fun fact was that Checker did not have their own engines or powertrains, so they actually contracted with General Motors. Most of the Checkers had a straight six Chevy inline engine. Some of them were optioned out with a Chevy V8 350 later in the 70s, but most of them did have a Chevy six-cylinder inline powertrain with a Chevy transmission. The reason why Checker was so successful for years of building taxis is because they made it so easy to replace body panels. These taxis were manufactured with low maintenance and low cost in mind. So these taxis would have a checkered stripe going down the side of them, sometimes also going across the roof. That was an actual, that Checker really did that, and that was actually a decal that they came up with to represent the Checker manufacturing company. Eventually, the Checker was phased out, and but they were the mainstay of taxis, especially in the New York and Los Angeles areas back in the 70s. And there's always something to do in a layout. You're never really finished with it. I mean, even though I got a lot of my buildings populated and stuff, I'm pretty happy with the way things are going. There's still more I want to do here. I want to put in telephone poles and wires, pick a few cars out, install lights in them from Evans Designs. So there's a little bit more, I want to keep going and doing. But I'm pretty happy to date because I actually started doing, building this layout in 2015. And some people say, hey, you got pretty far. And, I do feel like I accomplished a lot because, this layout has changed multiple times since 2015. Especially with the diameter of curves that I'm using. But I am pretty happy how Conahey Rail is forming. As you can see, there's still more work that needs to be done. The next section, I still need to install backdrops. Gotta love the blue Conahey all the way. And yeah, here you go. For the Conrail fans, Enola Diesel Terminal. I love Conrail. So there you go. And once again, I thank you guys for watching. I will come out with a video soon on what exactly I'll be giving away. I'm not sure when I'm planning on coming out with that yet, but it'll all fall into place. And then we'll see you guys later. Hopefully I get to catch you at a train show. You see me, come up, say hi. And catch you guys trackside. Thanks again. Bye.